With Halloween just around the corner, I couldn't resist diving into a game that perfectly captures the eerie and unsettling atmosphere of the season. Today we're taking a look at Deadeus, a horror game that stands out not just for its genre but for the platform it's on. Originally released in 2019 as a ROM and later gaining a physical release in 2021, Deadeus brings something truly unique to the retro handheld community, proving that even in an 8-bit, green-tinted world, a game can be deeply unnerving and terrifying. Deadeus was developed by indie game creator IZMA, whose vision for a Game Boy horror experience brings a refreshing blend of classic aesthetic and modern narrative. Published initially by Spacebot Interactive in 2021 for the physical release, Deadeus has since been picked up by Incubate Games, another company specializing in retro physical game releases, ensuring the game continues to reach new audiences in its physical form. It's remarkable to think that a game like this, created decades after the Game Boy's prime, can still feel so fresh and impactful. It is essentially a narrative-driven adventure with gameplay rooted in exploration and decision-making. Set in a small village, the game begins with the protagonist having a disturbing dream where a strange entity tells him that everyone in the village will die in 3 days. From there, you're left to figure out how, if at all, you can prevent this. Visually, Deadeus employs a monochrome art style designed specifically for the original Game Boy. When played on the actual hardware, the game displays in the iconic greenish hue of the system's screen, which only adds to its retro charm. IZMA's use of sharp contrasts, haunting pixel art, and detailed environments is particularly effective in creating a sense of isolation and dread. Every area in the village feels hauntingly desolate, and the characters you interact with often speak in cryptic, unsettling ways. The gameplay itself is straightforward but engaging. You spend most of your time exploring the village, talking to NPCs, and making choices that will ultimately shape the ending of your story. Each day in the game feels like a race against time, with the shadow of the dark entity's warning looming over you. This tension builds as you realize that no matter what choices you make, there's always a sense that something is inevitably wrong. The story of Deadeus revolves around the dark and mysterious dream in which a foreboding entity informs the protagonist that the entire village will be annihilated in 3 days. From the moment you wake up, you are left to determine how much of the dream is real and whether there's anything you can do to stop the catastrophe. The game is rich with cryptic dialogue, hidden clues, and disturbing revelations about the village and its inhabitants. What makes Deadeus truly special is its multiple endings, 11 in total, which range from tragic to horrifying. These endings are determined by the actions you take and the information you gather throughout the game's 3 days. There are no easy answers or clear paths to success. Some endings reveal deeper truths about the dark entity and its connection to the village, while others plunge you into even darker revelations. You might try to escape, save the villagers, or even discover that some things are worse than death. This non-linear narrative approach gives Deadeus significant replayability, as each playthrough can result in a completely different outcome. The sense of dread only intensifies with each ending as you uncover more about the horrifying nature of the village and its impending doom. The game masterfully captures the feeling of hopelessness, where your decisions may lead to survival or simply more despair. Deadeus is a game that defies expectations, both as a horror title and as a Game Boy release in 2019, with a physical release in 2021. Its eerie atmosphere, multiple endings, and chilling narrative make it a standout in the indie retro scene. If you're a fan of horror, and especially if you're a fan of retro gaming, this is a must-play, particularly as we head into Halloween. It proves that the Game Boy, despite its technological limitations, can still deliver fresh and immersive experiences even decades later. In the spirit of the season, Deadeus offers the perfect kind of unsettling dread that sticks with you, and isn't that exactly what you want from a horror game? Whether you're playing it on the original green-tinted Game Boy or on an emulator, Deadeus is a haunting journey well worth taking. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. If you've played Deadeus, let me know in the comments what you thought about it, and until next time, keep those pixels alive.